How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of, funky Texas jams in the form of Jester King Brewing. It's Detritivore. This is a Farmhouse ale re-fermented with cherries. Killer fucking label. I've always loved the labels that Jester King throws out there. Not just a label, but the actual labels they use, to where they have that kind of cutout where the label begins and ends. This one's put on kind of sloppily, but I kind of dig this. I got this as part of my fantasy football winning haul, and it is, let's see, 5.7%, I believe it is. Yes, sir. And it's old. Just under 3 years old, this being the beginning of February 2019. This is batch number 3 from 7/7/2016. So, more like about 2.5 years old. Kind of excited to dive into it. It's been a while since I've had a Jester King beer, so yeah, let's have at it. As far as what it says in here, it says Farmhouse Ale re-fermented with cherries, Detritivore. Let's see, Jester King, Austin, Texas. Let's see. Memo, we have done it. Peered into the trash bin to ponder a discarded morsel. The bravest among us might even pluck it out and devour it without hesitation. In natural world, nothing goes unconsumed, and some resourceful creatures find sustenance where others find garbage. We celebrate these wonderful creatures that eat the very things we throw away, and we thank them for the lessons we can learn. Journey with us to a wild world where waste is wealth and trash collector is king. Jester King's authentic farmhouse brewery in Austin, Texas. Let's see. Detritivore, 5.7% alcohol by volume. They actually go through all the ingredients in here. They have water, barley, flaked wheat, sour cherries, hops, farmhouse yeast, native yeast, souring bacteria from the Texas Hill County. Wheat. It says it's vegan and vegetarian friendly. And it says Detritivore is a dry unspiced farmhouse ale re-fermented with raspberries already once used in fermentation of Jester King's Montmorency versus Blanton. Native yeast and bacteria impart a sense of place. This unfiltered, unpasteurized, 100% natural condition beer. So I guess it's that kind of Detritivore is a organism, an animal that kind of basically eats waste. So I guess it's kind of a play on that because of the second use cherries and whatnot. But yeah, beautiful, like I said, beautiful label, beautiful all around. Let's see what the sucker has to offer. Yeah, rare Sunday review for me. I usually don't do beer reviews on Sundays, but I actually want to record another channel. Kind of what are those videos that you put at the beginning of your channel where people kind of intro to your channel kind of thing? I wanted to do a new one of those, so I figured I'd crack a beer while I'm at it. Yeah, look at that. That is just a nice, rich, hazy, creamy, kind of looks like peach juice almost. So you get that kind of traditional saison coloring with that murky yellow, but then you have that added second use of cherries, which is what I assume is giving it that color. There's a weirdly rocky, while at the same time infinitely creamy. It's like all these kind of rocky bubbles on the edge here have this like halo of creaminess around it. It's actually pretty bizarre. You don't see it that often. And it's got a soft taste to it. Very apple cider, like very peach juice like it looks like. Yeah, not too shabby so far. So, let's see what the nose has. Oh man, that smells so pretty. I mean, you're just getting those... I believe you're getting like a peach skinniness, a very kind of wild, wild culture, wild yeast kind of peach fuzziness, peach skinniness, fruit skinniness to it. Now, they're talking about putting those second use cherries in there. There is a soft, rich kind of almost like cherry juice as opposed to a cherry fleshiness in there, but it's very, very subtle. It could be more of that kind of yeast esteriness from the bits and pieces of the yeast that they're using there as opposed to the actual cherries, or the fact that they actually say there's cherries in there on there, and it's just kind of planting that in my head. And it's got a soft tartness to it, nothing too crazy, but there is a nice bright sweetness to it. Also, a soft oakiness and a little bit of soft vanilla. There's a lot of moving parts in this one, but it's weird because I don't want to call it gentle because it's pretty impactful for the kind of beer it is. You're talking about a 5% and change beer that has a bit of time on it. It's coming off rather vibrant, but you have to put that in the context, the style of beer it is. It's not like a 2x4 to the face like a lot of hazy hops and big adjuncty beers. Yeah, she smells nice, smells rounded, she smells soft, while at the same time very rich, very natural. A lot of fruit flavors coming from both the yeast, the bacteria, and those bitten pieces of cherries. It just smells, again, same word I used to start off the review, pretty. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. Not as rounded as I thought it was going to be. You're talking about 5.7%, almost 3 years on it. I thought it would have a little bit of extra softness to it. While the mouthfeel is soft and nice and delicate, there is a pop of tartness. It's not sour. I wouldn't go all the way sour. It's tartness. It's right in the middle, and it's very, I've talked about it previously, my love of the rando blueberry that you get. If you ever eat a bushel, you get a nice big pile of blueberries, and you're eating them, just popping them back, as anybody who's had a bushel of blueberries has done before. There's always this mixture of kind of sweet and tartness, but every now and then you get this like overtly tart one. It gives you that kind of fresh fruited kind of tartness, a big pop right in the center. There is a decent kind of wood character to it too. It's got this soft kind of woodiness to it. They don't talk about kind of barreling in this, I don't believe. Yeah, they don't talk about barreling at all, but I'm telling you right now, this has a soft kind of wood character to it, to the point where I'm getting a nice vanilla. Now, I'm assuming these hit barrels. I mean, there's even a picture of the barrel kind of on the front of these. They just kind of omit that from coming from in there, but I'm getting this nice soft oak character, very kind of French vanilla oakiness in there that's not over the top, just adds an extra dimension to the beer itself. And there is just heaping helpings of fruit abounding all over the place, whether that be that peach skin to those soft, non-sweetened kind of cherry juice vibes. It's rounded well at the same time. It has that big pop in the middle, so it's kind of fun. Has age made this a better beer? I have no idea. I didn't have it fresh. I'd be hard pressed to say it was any better than it is now, and I don't necessarily think it's going to get any better with time. It probably has evolved over time. It's probably changed from something into what it is now, in a good way. So it could have been equally as good, just a different kind of beer when it originally came out. Yeah, nice, bright tartness with a subtle, just ever so subtle acidity, bringing it over, just edging it towards sour. Like I said, it's more tart beer than sour, but just pushing it a little bit more than your just base kind of wild characteristics. And just a pleasure to drink. Again, pretty is the name of the game here. That's typically what I say when it comes to a lot of these kind of deeply nuanced, funky sour beers that you get from the people that do it so well, like a Jester King. And just, yeah, the perfect beer for today. This is the beer I wanted to kind of prep to get ready to do that secondary video. This is working out beautifully. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better, funky. Let's go that direction. Funky, sour, whatever you want to call it, beers I've had as of late. Yes, it's up there. It might not be the best. I mean, there might be a couple that eke it out, but it'd be almost kind of like a who's the best running back of all time kind of argument. There's a lot of correct answers. So it's not necessarily that it's not a clear-cut number one, but it's definitely not a clear-cut not number one, if that makes any sense. Value and availability, no idea. Like I said, I won it. But Jester King has usually been typically pretty decent price point wise from the stuff that I've been able to get. So it is what it is. I mean, it's an age beer, so availability is going to be very low, but I believe they still make this and leave you with, if you like, what will you like this beer in particular? If you just like soft, pretty, wild, funky beers. Again, like I said, it's not getting super in the sour territory, while at the same time giving you enough to keep you out of just a base kind of generic kind of saisoniness. It's got a nice funkiness to it, a rich fruitiness all over the place, and just pretty damn, let's end it with the same thing, pretty damn beer. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little beautiful rich funky beer right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.